Greetings, pet lovers. Bridget here with First Street Pets, and today we're going to talk about tips and tricks for finding a pet that has been lost for a long time. Now, I originally recorded this video in 2020. This update for 2024 involves some new information that will hopefully be helpful to you in bringing your lost dog or cat home quickly. What is considered a long time? This is kind of a relative term, but I would say with cats and dogs, if they have been missing for more than 2 weeks, you need to start rethinking your strategies. There are things that you need to do the first day, within the first couple days, which I've covered in other videos and articles. But as the time passes, there are some other things you need to do to increase your chances of success. An important factor in your recovery strategy after a long time is sightings. Have you had any sightings? Have you had no sightings at all? Have they been close to home? Have they been far away? Whether or not you had sightings and where they are will kind of determine your next steps. You want to follow up on those sightings and get some good leads so you know how to proceed. One of the ways that you can generate more sightings and more leads is to update your materials, such as flyers, posters, and after a longer time, even mailers. You want to get the word out. You don't want people to forget. If they've seen a poster up on the bulletin board or on a telephone pole, and it's been there for a couple of weeks or it's fallen down in the wind, they're going to forget about it. So doing some more pieces and sending those out and getting them out in the public can help generate more sightings, more leads that you can follow up on. One of the things you can do with your posters is put them in a bright color, perhaps a different color than they were before, and include the text "still missing." This lets people know that, oh, I need to look at this again. This isn't just the same thing that was here 2 weeks ago. Still missing. You can also include text like "do not chase." As I talk about in my videos about creating these pieces, you don't want too much information on these posters. It's basically just a really brief description of your pet, the location lost, and your phone number or another way of contacting you. Be sure to provide a number that can be reached at any time, because people may want to call or text you in the middle of the night, early in the morning. So make sure that you are available to get that information, because they may actually be viewing your pet at that time live, and you want to be able to respond right away. Another good tool to help recover a pet missing for a long time is a postcard, and you can send this through a service at the post office called Every Door Direct Mail. I will link the information in the description for you. Basically, you design a mail piece similar to a postcard with some information on it, and you pick a neighborhood on a map on the post office website, and you send the cards out to that area. And in one day, those cards will go to every house on that particular mail route. This can really help to blanket a large area with information, and physical mail pieces people tend to hang on to more than, say, an email or a social media post. They might stick it on the fridge, they might put it on the table, or even throw it in the drawer. But if they think they've seen your pet, they still have that card and they can contact you. The next thing is to follow up on those sightings and leads. So some of them may be ridiculous, like someone may be calling you from another state or something. Those you might not want to follow up on. But anything that seems reasonable, that's in your area, somewhat in your area, within reason, you're going to want to follow up on that. I helped a woman find her missing cat some years ago, and she followed up and was able to recover him. She was sending out flyers and mailers, and she did get leads in an area that was kind of different from where she thought the cat was. It was actually the opposite direction that she thought he had gone in, but it was still within reason. Well, she went to that neighborhood, started talking to people there and giving them cards and flyers. And sure enough, that is the area where she ended up finding her cat. So that follow-up is super important when you get those leads to talk to other people and find out where your missing pet actually is. As with all of my lost pet recovery videos, I have to say be aware of scammers. Heartless scammers will prey on people who are vulnerable in all kinds of situations, including those who are missing a pet. If anyone calls or texts you looking for money, claiming they are going to harm your pet, they are probably a scammer. A sure way to test anyone contacting you is to ask them to text you a picture of the pet if they say they have it. And there's all sorts of scams. They may say, I'm a truck driver. I was passing through town. Now I'm in some other city and I need you to send money so I can return the pet. There are all kinds of stories. Everyone now has a phone that can take pictures. Even your grandmother probably has a phone that could take a picture. So asking someone to text you a picture is not an unreasonable request. And if they can't do that, then it's a scam. There's no other way about it. I know it's hard. They'll claim they have your pet. They may claim to harm the pet or to turn it loose in the street if you don't send them money. But they're just scammers. If they can't provide you with a picture, they are not telling you the truth. A great tool for finding a pet lost for a long time is a security camera. They are very inexpensive these days. I have ones in my home that cost about $40. I mean, you can get the fancy ring ones, but there are other ones that are more affordable. You can set these up pretty much anywhere that you have electricity and Wi-Fi, so they're not the best tool out in the middle of the woods, but anywhere near your home or business, you can set these things up. The reason they're so important is that pets, especially cats, may be around. You just don't know it. And I've been aware of more than one case where people thought their cat was completely gone, nowhere near the house, disappeared for weeks, put up a security camera. Sure enough, the cat's walking around the backyard, coming up to the back door, trying to get in the house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's aware of that because animals tend to come out in the middle of the night when it's quiet. Cats are nocturnal. So that camera can give you valid sightings and that you can follow up on, whether it's at your home, a neighbor's home, a business. Obviously, with cameras, if it's not on your property, you need to have permission. If it's on someone's property, pointing at their property. But I think if you work with your friends, neighbors, business owners, and engage them in your search for a missing pet, then most of the time they'll be happy to help you. Once you have sighted your pet, but you can't catch him or her, another great tool is a humane trap. Now, this is more commonly used for cats, but there are big traps for dogs that have also been used. These humane traps can be purchased inexpensively online or at like tractor supply type stores, farm supply type stores. People use them for trapping raccoons or animals like that. That's the perfect size for a cat. Now, if you have a TNR or cat rescue group in your area, they may have experienced trappers who will be willing to come out and help you. If not, you can purchase one of these yourself for maybe $20 or $30 and use it to catch your missing cat once you have confirmed the location where he is hiding. If you are trying to catch a skittish dog and you are aware of his location, you can get a hold of one of these traps, but they're pretty big and costly. Some animal control departments will help with this, so it's worth a call to your local shelter or police or sheriff to see if they can help you or refer you to someone who can. There are also people who work as pet detectives or help people to trap lost dogs, so it doesn't hurt to do an internet search for your area, or if you check out my other video on the best websites for finding a lost pet, I have some lists there of pet detectives and people who may be able to help you if you want to try and trap your skittish lost dog. Checking animal shelters is important immediately and later on in your search for a missing pet. Now, some shelters have holding periods as small as 72 hours. So while it's important to check shelters right away, it's even more important over time. You can call, you can go online, you can actually go to the shelter, which is best, but I realize that may not be feasible for you to go every day. But very important to determine what your service area is, which shelter you need to go to, and how long their hold period is, how often you need to check. Because your animal may be picked up days, weeks, months after they've gone missing and end up in a shelter and be waiting for you to come and claim them. If your pet is microchipped, make sure that it is registered, and you can check out my other videos on how to do that. Very important, if your pet is chipped but not registered, it's not going to do you any good. But if they turn up at a shelter or vet or anyone else who has a scanner and it's correctly registered, you can be called right away and have your pet back the same day. There are some great internet tools as well that you can use to find a pet missing for a long time. What some people do is create a Facebook page. They like to do this because it's free and it's easy. You can create a Facebook page like Find Zoe or Help Me Find Orangey or whatever whatever is your pet that you're looking for. You can engage your friends and neighbors to follow that page. You can post pictures, updated sightings, and just it's kind of a way to keep things relevant and keep people involved in your search. If you're really dedicated and the weeks and months are ticking by, you can actually create a whole website for finding a lost pet. If you go to GoDaddy or Wix or one of those companies where you can do a free basic website, go ahead and do that. You can even buy a domain name if you want to do that and get a lot of information out there, gather sightings. It's basically a way to keep people engaged and helping you in your search so that they don't forget about it. Nextdoor is another great tool if you have that in your area where you live. It's a good tool to use at any time during the search for a missing pet because it is hyper-local. I have seen many posts where someone is missing their cat, for example, and then someone posts that are across the street or around the corner, the cat is hanging out at my house. So this is very good for addressing people in your hyper-local neighborhood to keep their eyes out for your pet. You can put pictures, you can put the URL of your Facebook page or website that you've created to find your lost pet. And it's a good way to engage with immediate neighbors in your search that you may have missed from posters or from making a Facebook page, which technically could go to anyone in the world. Nextdoor is going to target everyone in your neighborhood where you lost your pet. Now, one caveat in involving your community, you want to beware of having too much help. That may sound crazy, but I have seen just huge posses of people going out looking for missing pets to the point where they will drive a skittish dog into traffic to be hit by a car. So when you are engaging people, you want to tell them specifically what you need right up front. Do not chase. Do not try to catch my pet. Here's a number you can call or text 24 hours a day. Contact me. I will take action. Very important to get that right out there. You don't want people forming huge groups, calling your dog or cat, trying to find them, chasing after them, trying to catch them, because that rarely leads to a good outcome. An important thing to remember is that only you can decide when it's time to stop searching, and no one can judge you. That is your decision. If you want to keep searching for months and years, that's up to you. If you need to get on with your life and it's time to let this go, that is also up to you. Only you know when it is the right time to stop searching. I hope this has been helpful. Please check out all my other videos on lost pet recovery. Thank you for watching.